Let's revisit Solana. Not so long time ago, we said that a break to these levels here, around 160, would lift this to the upside. We did indeed push up, then hard retest, then up again, and then another hard retest. But so far, all good. Normally, what I try to do when I try to trade on a breakout like this is that I would go long, and then I would place the stop loss either below the daily candle, if it makes sense. In this case, it would have been sort of around 156, or if I can, I try to tighten it up. The idea is, we can, the price is allowed to go back, but we don't want it to go too deep into the pattern, and definitely not, take out the level like this one, because when you break one low, normally just drop to the next low. So this would have been a good little spot. Now, since then, the market has actually stalled. This is good and bad. In my case, I bought a ton of stuff, not Solana though, but about Bitcoin, Chainlink, and a few other bits and pieces on the move to the upside, which was, very evident here in Bitcoin, the push here, and I traded it up. And in the case of Solana now, Bitcoin has stabilized and even slid a bit, but Solana never really took off. This again is not necessarily too bad. Yeah, obviously, if you bought here, it's not too much fun because you literally see yourself in position, winning, break even, winning, break even, and maybe you even got stopped out in the process if you tighten up your stops. But for someone like myself now that is not in this market, it's actually quite interesting. And there's a few of these that look like this. So you have now triple tops plus this bit here. So what happens is that you have a large ascending triangle. And the way to work with this, again, would be to maybe work with the midpoint, because it might be the beginning of something bigger, might even go higher. But I think this is sufficient for now, 14% upside. And then the idea would be here that if we break here, we would, much like we did have here, potentially have a break to the upside. But we need to be a bit careful. I think a time stop today would be very useful. A time stop is when something happens, but then if it doesn't pick up, if we don't have that proper breakout, then we need to ask ourselves, okay, this is now a break even or a small loss. I'd rather take that than, seeing the position being completely stopped out. And that is what we need to apply here. Because I went long a couple of breakouts this morning, and yeah, the whole day is almost gone and not much has happened. And I saw some other marks as well that triggered, broke to the highs, and then quickly pushed downwards. And that would be a false breakout. So yeah, we need to be a bit mindful about the risks. Although I'm personally quite optimistic. Let me explain why. Well, this is Bitcoin. We definitely slid more than I thought we would do. And it's annoying because it slid below support, but then it didn't continue to go lower. In either case, what's interesting here is that for me, it looks like this was a false move. Okay. False slide to the downside, trigger some stops. And then if we would, switch to our 1 hour chart or 1 hour chart, you can actually see here how we have this mini break here that happened at 2 o'clock. Well, this is actually not 2 o'clock. This would be at 6 a.m. UTC time. So early in the morning in Europe. The break here aligns now the short-term trend with the uptrend, which means that if we have a break here in Solana, it's more likely that this is going to push. But again, that time stop, very important. If we go up, spend some time here and then start to trade lower, a bit of a warning sign. And I usually like to close before I get and have a full stop out.